As a barbecue community, I think we have to become a little bit more inventive with rib tips. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back for another cook video. And you guessed it, today we're cooking rib tips. I have nothing against rib tips that are covered in sauce and grilled and cut up into chunks. I personally really love rib tips like that. I grew up eating it, but I always feel like I'm looking for something different. It's a cut that has a lot of good meat, but with cartilage running through it. I feel like that's really challenging for a lot of people. I want to make a dish that will hopefully turn around those people who don't love that cartilage on the inside and make it something that's a little more craveable. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to separate the rib tip from the entire spare rib itself. I'm just going to run my finger right on top of the bone so I know that's where the bone and the cartilage is starting to connect, and that's where I'm going to give myself a guide to know where I should take my knife. In this case, I would use a sturdier knife like a chef's knife instead of a boning knife, just because you're going to be cutting through all that hard cartilage. Now we got our rib tips and our St. Louis cut ribs. If you guys want to see the video of what I did with these St. Louis cut ribs, it's one of my favorite recipes that I made last year, so if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out. What we're going to be making today is a salt and pepper rib tip. And what I mean by salt and pepper, I'm talking about what you get when you go to like a Chinese restaurant where they have like salt and pepper pork chops or salt and pepper shrimp, where they might be lightly marinated and they're going to be fried and fried with other aromatics at the end. So to start this off, we're just going to marinate it lightly with some Shaoxing cooking wine, some salt, white pepper, some Chinese 5-spice, and some sugar. The reason why I came up with this idea is almost to mask the cartilage in the center. When people see fried food, they're expecting there to be a little bit more texture. So this is in hopes to almost mask the cartilage a little bit so that when people eat it, even though we're expecting crunch in the outside, they're going to get a little bit of the inside as well. And I feel like if we do it properly, there's more of a chance of people eating the entire piece rather than eating around the cartilage itself. For this cook, there's no need to fire up the entire offset, so we're going with our S&S and some Fogo charcoal. We're cooking about 300 degrees until it's nice and soft. After about 4 hours at about 300 degrees, these rib tips are done. They have great color on them, they got a lot of smoke on it, and at this point, these rib tips are really soft. Almost to the point where you might think, man, these are overcooked, but that's kind of what we need right now. We want them to be extra soft because we want that cartilage to be as soft as possible. If you guys have cooked rib tips before, you know if you don't push it far enough, sometimes that cartilage is as hard as bone. How do you know when they're ready? You can go by feel, but if you guys know me and you've seen my other rib videos before, I'm listening for that squish test on that rib tip. So what I want you guys to do right now is to close your eyes and listen for the squish test on top of that rib tip. Because these rib tips are super soft right now, we can't really cut into them. If we try to cut into it, the meat is going to fall off the rib tip, and we can't have that if we're going to fry them later. So for right now, we're going to wrap them tightly in some foil, and then we're going to put it in the fridge overnight so that tomorrow, when we go to slicing them, it'll be cold enough for us to get nice chunks out of it. After keeping the rib tips in the fridge overnight, this is what they're looking like. Now that they're a little bit more firm, we can start cutting them up into almost like little pork nuggets. And if you look at the cross section of these ribs, you can see the cartilage on the inside. The section right in the middle right there, it's going to be easy to bite through but still have a little bit of texture to it. Cut them into nice uniform chunks and put the rest to the side as we prep the rest of this dish. Next, we're going to prep the aromatics for this dish. I'm going to start off by dicing about 3 cloves of garlic. You want to get them pretty small and try to get them as even pieces as possible, just because as we start to stir fry them, we don't want any chunks to burn. We're also going to prep some scallions. We're going to use both the green and the white. For the green, we're just going to cut them into nice rings so we can use them as a garnish to finish. And for the white part, we're going to dice them up sort of like we did with the garlic. It has a nice strong flavor that you don't really get from the greens. And I want to make sure I can add that flavor in with the rib tips at the end. To add a little bit more heat to the dish, we're also going to use a Thai chili. My grocery store didn't have any red Thai chilies, but if you guys had some, I would definitely use that just to get a little bit more color into the dish. To get the rib tips ready to fry, we're going to be using potato starch. We're going to be using potato starch because it helps get a lot more bubbly flakes on the outside rather than a heavier coating that you would get from like using an all-purpose flour. Because the surface of these rib tips are pretty dry from being in the fridge overnight, we're just going to give them a quick egg wash, and then we're going to make sure we cover every single side with this potato starch and then knock off the excess. Now for the most dangerous part, frying these rib tips. We're going to be frying these rib tips in smoked tallow. If you don't feel confident in deep frying, you can still do this in a shallow fry in a pan or a cast iron. I personally don't enjoy frying food that much, but I figured we'd do it for the purpose of this video. Once we get all this tallow melted, we're gonna get it up to 400 degrees. These rib tips are already cooked. All we're having to do is get the outside crispy and warming the inside through. So this isn't a time where you're going to need to fry at a low temp and fry it again a second time to get that crisp. It's always good to have a thermometer on hand so you can monitor the temperature as you go. Once you fried up all the rib tips, make sure you get them onto a paper towel or a wire rack so they can drain properly. And after you let it sit for a little bit, just listen to this crunch on the outside. Now for the last part to complete this dish, we're going to do a quick dry fry. And into a pan, we're going to add some oil, the scallions, garlic, and Thai chilies. We're just going to give them a quick toss till we can smell them. Now we're going to toss in our rib tips. I didn't add quite enough oil to make sure all the aromatics stuck to the rib tips, so I'm going to add in a little bit more cooking wine to add a little bit of some sweetness and just add a little bit of moisture so we can combine everything together. Once we're able to get all the rib tips coated, our dish is done. This type of dish definitely requires a beverage, so cheers. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna grab one of these smaller pieces that has more of that cartilage on the inside because that's what I like. It's definitely spicy with those peppers in there, that's for sure. Got a bite with extra garlic and some green onions and some peppers on there. So the crunch on the outside of this thing isn't like super heavy because the potato starch is really fine. The texture of the rib tip is great because overcook it the first time just so that we can make sure it's really soft. But let's say you try to take one that's a little bit more fresh, but you kind of undercooked a little bit just so you can cut it into pieces. I think if you try to fry it at that point, then the rib tip will be too tough. I think one step that I did at the end that is kind of making this dish a little bit is kind of deglazing that cooking wine again because it's bringing in a little bit of like acidity and a little bit of lightness to it. I think one adjustment that I would make to this is adding a little bit more five spice to it. I don't taste as much, maybe just because the cooking wine is really strong and then we added it at the end also. But yeah, that's definitely something I would definitely, if I did this again, put a little bit more on, or maybe even put a little bit on afterwards and kind of dust it on there. But overall, if you're looking for a new way to do rib tips, this right here is magic. Cheers. So that's the end of this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video and you're looking for 2 other recipes that are different just like this one, definitely check out these 2 videos that I have on the screen for you. And if you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.